The fog hung thick over the narrow road leading into Hollow Creek, curling around the twisted oak trees and abandoned wooden fences like ghostly fingers. Liam gripped the strap of his worn backpack, his eyes scanning the empty village ahead. He could feel a chill creeping up his spine, though the late autumn air wasn't particularly cold. Beside him, Sarah adjusted the scarf around her neck, her curiosity barely hidden beneath a hint of nervousness.
"This place looks deserted," she murmured, her voice trembling slightly. Her green eyes darted between the houses, some with shattered windows, others sagging under the weight of decay. The air smelled faintly of damp wood and earth, an odor that made Liam wrinkle his nose. Hollow Creek had been abandoned decades ago, ever since the mines on the outskirts of the town had collapsed, claiming several lives. Now, the village was nothing but whispers and shadows, a place most locals avoided entirely.
Liam had always been drawn to places like this. Abandoned houses, forgotten towns. He found stories hidden in the cracks of crumbling walls, in the silence where laughter once lived. And this time, his obsession with mysteries had dragged him here, to Hollow Creek, along with Sarah, who had reluctantly agreed to join him.
As they walked along the cobblestone path, the wind carried the faint creak of old wooden doors swinging in the breeze. A crow cawed from the branches above, startling Sarah, who let out a small gasp. Liam chuckled softly, but it did little to ease his own rising unease. Each house seemed to watch them, its broken windows like empty eyes. They paused in front of a small general store. The faded letters on the sign barely readable. Hollow Creek Mercantile. The door hung crooked on its hinges. Liam reached out and pushed it gently. It swung open with a long, drawn-out groan that echoed through the empty streets. Inside, dust motes danced in the shafts of late afternoon sunlight filtering through the cracks. Rusted tins and shattered glass lined the shelves, remnants of a life long forgotten. Sarah stepped in cautiously, brushing against a table that collapsed under her hand with a loud crash. She winced and looked up at Liam. "Maybe we should just," she began, but Liam cut her off. "No," he said firmly. "We came here for a reason. Something is hidden here. I can feel it." They continued exploring, moving from house to house. Each doorway revealed layers of decay, broken furniture, torn curtains, and graffiti left by those who had dared to enter before them. There was a rhythm to the silence, punctuated by the occasional creak of floorboards or the distant rustle of something moving just beyond their vision. As dusk settled, the fog grew denser, wrapping the village in a gray haze. Liam and Sarah reached the old church at the center of Hollow Creek. Its steeple leaned precariously, and the stained glass windows were cracked, letting slivers of cold light through. Inside, the pews were coated with dust, and the organ keys were chipped and silent. But in the stillness, they thought they heard the faintest whisper of a hymn, a soft, haunting melody that seemed to come from nowhere.
Sarah shivered, clutching Liam's arm. "Did you hear that?" "I think so," Liam whispered. His heart pounded in his chest. He had expected an eerie feeling, but hearing it, the sound of something unexplainable, made the fear more tangible. They left the church, moving carefully back along the main street, shadows lengthening and twisting unnaturally in the fog. Each step felt heavier than the last, as if the village itself was pressing against them, testing their resolve. Hollow Creek was no longer just a location on a map. It was alive, breathing quietly in the mist, watching the two intruders with patient malice.
Liam nodded, understanding her fear, but feeling a thrill that he couldn't quite suppress. "I know," he said. "But tomorrow, we start exploring properly. There's a story here, Sarah. Something people don't want anyone to find. And we're going to uncover it."
That night, as the wind howled through the broken shutters and the fog wrapped the village in a ghostly embrace, Hollow Creek waited. Silent, patient, and ancient, its secrets were buried deep, and the night had only just begun.